back, everybody, to Operation Eclipse. This is British Commonwealth and France, turn 16. One bit of housekeeping that we have is that in this attack against the American fleet in M3, instead of taking 2 destroyers as final 2 casualties, Stavik actually wanted to take one of those hits on a light cruiser, so he will also have that destroyer there. And then otherwise, attack went like normal. And then I don't think there's other housekeeping to do with other than actually, I think these Katyushas, I'm not sure. There might be some housekeeping with the Central Mania stuff. Yep, so there's supposed to be these 2 Katyushas from the 94th. They're supposed to be in Kyiv. And the 2 infantry that were built into Kyiv are instead built into Central Romania. So I think that's got all the housekeeping. With the exception that on the British turn, so when this port was bombed, the 3 ships that are electing to have ejected are going to be the British transport, the French transport, and the British undamaged battleship. And then I think everything else is fine. So we'll hop into the British turn. Britain has 3 tech rows, going to be doing improved factories, improved construction, and heavy strats. And we are going to move both factories and construction to stage 2. And we're actually going to be moving strat bombers to stage 2 as well. So that'll take us to buys. Got 34, 11, and 7, and we're spending all 34, 11, and 7. So Great Britain is going to be buying 2 militia upgrades, going to be buying 2 colonials, limb leasing and artillery, and going to be buying 2 attack transports, and that clears out their 34. FEC is going to be buying a Gurkha, a militia, and spending 5 damage to repair their major port, which is another housekeeping thing. Major ports have a max damage of 5, so there's only 5 damage there. And then Anzac is going to be spending all 7 of their dollars on an attack transport. So that'll take us to combat moves for the turn. We're also controlling Iran. So Iran has 1 combat move in that it is going to be moving one of its infantry into Azerbaijan and liberating that. For the British, we're going to be taking this transport. So this in combat move, this battleship is moving here, this transport's moving here, and then moving here, picking up 2 regular infantry, and then moving down here and amphibiouly assaulting Malaya. At the same time that transport moves back into it, all these 2 transports are going to be moving into it. This transport's picking up the 2 regular infantry from southern India, and actually this transport is going to be picking up, instead of these 2 regular infantry, it's going to pick up an infantry and a Gurkha, and then the transport that was there is going to pick up a Gurkha and a regular infantry from Calcutta. And so all 6 of those units are going to be amphibiously assaulting British Malaya. At the same time those transports move in, these fighters went 1-2 and moving in. So if the sub wishes to engage upon entrance to the sea zone, it's fighting all of these, and then the fighters are going to attack Malaya, and the battleship's going to bombard, which does make it part of the continuing force. So I haven't heard back from Dran about whether he wants the sub to take a shot, so we can roll that out just in case he wants to. We'll roll it to see this, and then we'll hear back from all of that. Anyway, other combat moves as the British We are going to take these 2 Marines on North Island and just amphibiously assault South Island from there, crossing there, see what happens. Otherwise, our coastal sub is going to raid in P50. And I don't think we have combat moves anywhere else. I think everything's going to stay the same. I don't do any combats in any of these places. Alright, so we can do Malaya. So we have, we'll roll these subs out just in case he wanted to shoot around. So it does get a hit if he wants to shoot around, not target select though, so the battleship would become damaged. The battleship would shoot back and wouldn't kill it. So that would be that. So the battleship would be damaged. We'll roll this to see whether or not it gets a first bombard on the British Malaya. So it's a 7, so regardless of whether it's damaged or not, the bombard doesn't hit. So that just leaves us straight into the attacking the sea zone, or attacking the British Malaya rather, with a potentially damaged battleship there. I'll check with him to see whether or not he wants that to be the case. Anyway, we're going to have, for this attack, we have 2 Gurkhas at 3, 2 fighters at 6. This is a mountain territory, but Gurkhas ignore it, and it's also jungle, so they get their bonus there. And then we have 4 regular infantry that are all at 1. The Japanese have 4 regular infantry at 4, along with a militia at 2. So infantry, Gurkhas, fighters. And that is going to be 1, 2, 3 hits for us. And it's going to be 2 hits for the Japanese. So we will kill a militia and 2 infantry, and they will get 2 of our regular infantry. And we have amphibious doctrine, so we don't have to take double casualties. So we'll lose these guys. Then we'll go to round 2. And that's going to be 4 hits this time. And the Japanese will get no hits back. So we will take over Malaya with 4 dudes, liberate it. And then we will go into, we can do this coastal rating real fast. So we have a coastal sub at a +1. The Japanese do not have ASW or radar, so the green die will just be at a +1. And that's going to be 1 damage to the Tokyo line. So I think the other combat is Malaya, or not Malaya, New Zealand. So we're going to have 2 Marines at a 1 and 1 militia at a 2. Pretty sure my Marines, I think Marines only get the +1 if they're from an attack transport. I don't think it's just all cases of amphibious assaults, but let me double check that. Amphibious doctrine, attack naval transports. Yep, has to be from an attack naval transport. Alright, so we have 2 Marines at 1 and a defending Japanese militia at 2. So our ones are in orange, militia is in pink. And that's going to be a hit right off the bat for the Japanese. So now we have a single 1 against the 2. there are no retreats for amphibious assaults, so this just goes until somebody hits. Which could be a while. And this is the point in time in which you wish there was a simulator. And there's the Japanese hit. Alright, so that's a failed assault. I think that's got it for the combat moves. So non-combat moves, our fighters are going to move and land in Ceylon. Our Gurkha from Benares is going to move into Bengal. Yeah, it should be fine. Alright, Gurkha from Benares into Bengal. Fighters landed. These guys are all in Malaya. All this is fine. Our destroyer is going to move up 1, 2, 3. I might actually just do this right and go with P61. And that's going to be there. In Egypt, we're going to rail. Since we have this bonus, we get 2 rail movement. Going to do this railroad to Rhodesia and then rail up into Lower Egypt with these 2. The other 4 dudes here are going to walk into Sudan. Don't have anything there. So we are going to put this transport into port in A21 along with this TB destroyer. And we're going to walk this anti-air over into southern England. We're going to walk a marine into southern England. And we're going to walk 5 infantry into southern England. We are going to move 1 of our militia into Scotland. We're going to rail 2 of those militia into London. And we're going to put militia from southern England into London as well. So that should be 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 units. Should be more than enough to defend it for a turn. And then in the big move, we're going to make our fighters go. Northern England fighters going to fly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, land in French Morocco. And then the fighter in southern England and the fighter in London are both going to fly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and land on Sardinia. Try and add some stuff there. Our coastal defense ship and sub are going to stay where they are, and then our strat bomber is still here. We can just put that into the 17th. I think that's got it for our non-coms as the British. So we can place stuff. Oh, we have one more. This TB destroyer is going to move 2 up into P43. I think that's got it as the British. So we can go into placements of units. So we can do these guys and this. So we're going to put the Gurkha into Bengal and the militia into Calcutta. The Anzac attack transport, it's built off Sydney. And then all 5 of this damage on the port is repaired. Our battleship stayed, did not move. Relatively sure that it still gets to repair, even though it was at a port, because that shipyard is there. Start repairing capital ships. Damage nations begin repairing facilities, blah, 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 blah. Capital ships. Damage reserve must either be in a sea zone adjacent to or in port at a friendly dockyard. So since it's in port at the port, it does not get to get repaired, is the way I'm reading this, which is unfortunate, but oh well. In that case, they will stay unrepaired. Our other stuff, both of these attack transports are getting built into port at southern England. Does raise a question now, so let's see here. I think I actually want this fighter not to go to Morocco. It's going to be in southern England instead. Need to think about this for a moment. We're going to stick this submarine in A21. And that'll be that for those. Let's see, our colonials go into Lower Egypt and Transjordan. Our militia upgrades. One goes to Malta. To Malta, and then one will go to Lower Egypt. The artillery gets leased to southern Iran, and then we'll do the southern Iran recruitment on a 3, and that misses. So I think that will be that. We'll move our coastal defense ship to A20. No, we'll keep it there. We'll keep it there. Alright. Great Britain will collect 31. I think we get all 3 of our bonuses. We definitely have Suez. Iran is all in our possession. So it's definitely +5. And then I don't see any rating markers on any of these submarines. So I'm assuming they didn't. I also don't see the anti-submarine dice being rolled for this stuff. If that was actually done and some of those subs did raid, then we can easily just correct it and take 2 away from Great Britain. Otherwise they collect 31 plus 7, leaving them 38. FEC collects 12, and Anzac will collect 7. That brings us to Free France. Free France is $14, spending it all on 3 foreign legions and a militia, and then they get their bonus of a foreign legion. Free France has this attack into Quang Tung. And that'll be that. The foreign legions, I guess it's non-combat moves then, and we don't have any combat moves up here. Alright, so the the foreign legions attack Quang Tung. They are considered mountain infantry, so they get ignore that debuff. They are attacking at a. I think there's any way for these to join. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, Fire can't join. Anyway, so that's a mimic of the attack on South Island, but hopefully it goes better for us, because in this case we're at 2s instead of 1s. So we have 2 foreign legions at 2, and the Japanese militia at a 2 in blue. And that's going to be 1 hit for each side. So we will take over Quang Tung for the French, since KMT has surrendered. Put that there. Alright, and then for non-combat moves, these guys are going to hop above on the transport, which is going to move. Oh, we do have. This was combat moves, sorry. The French sub is raiding. But in the. So what's going to happen here, I think I can do this in combat move, is that these 2 guys are going to hop on the transport. All this is moving to the C zone. Doop. And then all of this is moving into this C zone. So that's 1, 2, 3 for the fighter, which is in landing on British Malaya. The French troops are going into British Malaya, and the French transport is going into port at British Malaya. And then the sub raids. So just in case Japanese sub wants to engage that as well, we'll roll for it, and it will miss, and then the French get their fighter and their sub, since it elected to engage. So fighter and sub, which the 3 is hit anyway. So if the Japanese decided to engage that, then it's dead. Otherwise it's alright, and then I'll check on this for this battleship. Anyway, we can do the rating now. We'll be in green at a +2, and that's going to be 3 damage more to this line, taking them down to 61. And that's pretty well the French turn. So we'll do placements. So 3 foreign legion we bought, 1 foreign legion is for free. We're going to stick 1 foreign legion into Nam-Tonkin, 1 foreign legion to Cochin China, free foreign legion So 1 Foreign Legion goes to Syria, and 1 militia and Foreign Legion go here somewhere. I think we're gonna do a Foreign Legion into, well, the militia would have to go into Cochin China, and then we can do the Foreign Legion into a Nam Tonkin, I guess. Give us that there, the free one. I could also move this guy up, which I think I am. The Foreign Legion that was already in Cochin China is going to move up into a Nam Tonkin in the non-combat movement phase. And then we don't have anything for France over here. We are... Yeah, we'll just keep the fighter on London. And that'll be that. Let's see. Actually, we'll stick the fighter into Southern England. It'll be there. Yep. So that's what we'll do there. And we'll collect money. Free France collects 12 plus all 3 of their bonuses to go to 15. And so that'll be it for our turn, and we will pass it over back to the Electron for Italy, turn 16.